Hey guys, welcome to VHS Bandits. This is episode number 1, where we talk about SnakeEater II, the Drug Buster. Let's pop the tape in.
Drugs are America's #1 problem, and children are dying. Now, SnakeEater's back, and he wants revenge. Lorenzo Lamas, Larry B. Scott, SnakeEater II, the Drug Buster.
And now, our feature presentation.
Hey guys, welcome to VHS Bandits. This is the very first episode of our brand new podcast where we talk about VHS tapes. I am the KevBot. With me, as always, is Dane Train. Say hello.
Oh, hey, folks. Hey there, videovores out there.
And the Doc, Topher Hansen.
Hey guys, what's going on?
So, hey guys, this is our first podcast. It's pretty sweet. We talk about some VHS tapes.
Yeah, so let's just run down what we'll be doing real quick. So, we're going to watch rare or obscure VHS tapes that, might be hard to find otherwise, that have been lost in time, and then describe them to you in great detail.
Yeah.
Right?
Talk about our thoughts and feelings on the movie, and hopefully over time we can get some listener feedback as well if you've seen it, or maybe we encourage you to go see it, or something like that if you can find it.
There's many of these movies that are real hidden gems and diamonds in the rough that so many people probably don't know about, or maybe when you were a kid you may have saw the box at the video store and never got to rent it or see it, and hopefully we can help that little light bulb pop on top of your head so you can go check it out when you guys get a chance.
Right, exactly. So today, on the very first episode, we have SnakeEater II, the Drug Buster. And so I found this tape. So I was in Portland, Maine. I went to go to the Cryptozoology Museum, which I suggest you all go to. But there is an abundance of record shops that still sell VHS tapes, and I was lucky enough to find this. And the one thing I saw the box. If you haven't seen it, the cover of the box. It's Lamar from Revenge of the Nerds in a big red leather jacket holding a sawed-off shotgun, and some renegade cop holding another gun. So I was like, the name sounds pretty awesome. And then I read the back, and I found out that Lamar's name in this movie is Speedboat. So I immediately purchased it.
Based solely on the fact that his name is Speedboat?
Exactly. If his name is Speedboat, it's going to be a good movie.
Yeah, that's a pretty good name.
And I was right. So, Dane, why don't you read the back of the box to us, just so we get an idea of what this movie is about.
All right, folks. Now, this is SnakeEater II, the Drug Buster. Soldier Kelly's not your ordinary cop. He's a short-fused, high-powered ex-commando who's not above breaking the law to bring a criminal down. Lorenzo Lamas, from Falcon Crest, returns as Soldier Kelly, the Snake Eater, back to battle a deadly ring of drug kingpins who are killing young kids with poison drugs. With the help of a streetwise sidekick named Speedboat, the Snake Eater gets ready for combat, and this time, Soldier takes no prisoners.
Whoa. That explains nothing about the movie at all.
No, not one bit.
There's also some little taglines on this, too, like Soldier Kelly strikes with a venom.
What?
Because he's a snake eater.
Yeah,
so some snakes have venom.
The front of the box says, the Snake Eater is about to clean up the streets, no matter how dirty he has to get.
It doesn't make any sense. Well, much like the rest of the movie. So let's get right into it, I suppose.
Now, one thing I wanted to mention real quick was... so, you bought this movie for $3.50.
Right. I usually pay upwards of 99 cents per VHS. This one was a special find. Speedboat is definitely worth $3.50, I suppose.
I agree. My whole thing was...
the other movies that came with it...
Oh, yeah.
They were $3 and this one was 50 cents more.
Right. Yeah. Some other movies were less. And I don't know why the shop clerk decided to make this not $3, not $4, but $3.50. Why? What inclined him to put $3.50 down for this movie? I have no idea.
Well, let me ask you guys this.
Lorenzo Lamas' star power.
Yeah,
I guess so.
Clearly. Have either of you seen the first Snake Eater?
Nope.
No.
Don't need to.
And there's a third one too called SnakeEater III: His Law,
Wow.
which
So clearly he's a
I've never
renegade
seen.
cop again.
Yeah.
well, the thing was, I guess he's
off the force.
he's an ex-commando. So, and I learned a little bit about the first movie that I guess it takes place in Vietnam, or he's a Vietnam vet or something like that. So, he's a Vietnam ex-commando, and I guess his nickname was Snake Eater. But one thing I will spoil for everybody right now: they don't say Snake Eater once in the entire movie.
They don't mention it. They don't call him Snake Eater. They call him Soldier, and I didn't know that he had an actual name until like either read the back of the box or he says Jonathan once or something. I don't know.
His name on the back of the box is Soldier Kelly, but I don't think anybody ever says Kelly in the entire
Not
movie
once.
either. So
Pretty much just referred to as Soldier.
Yep.
there you go.
And I didn't even know that was his name until I read the box. I thought it was like that was just a nickname. Like he was a soldier.
and they just call him Soldier. No, his Christian name is Soldier Kelly. Maybe
His parents must have named him that.
They
knew
when he popped
he was
out.
marked at birth, basically.
I guess so.
So this movie came out in 1989. It's an hour and 33 minutes long. It's an action movie. It's where you would have found it in the video rental store. It was rated R, and on IMDb it was rated 3.8 out of 10 stars.
So it's amazing.
Yeah, usually a low rating on that means it's actually really good.
Yeah.
We'll give you our particular ratings at the end of the show.
So one thing, at least by looking at the box art, is that it comes off as at least being some kind of a buddy cop movie. But as we have all found out, this movie is more than just
it's
a
much
cop
more.
movie, buddy cop movie, action movie. This movie is all over the place.
Yeah, it doesn't really know what it wants to be, which is fine. So the movie opens up, fade in. We are in a youth center, and there are people dancing.
It's all like
There are
90s
people
New
doing
Jack Swing.
Yeah, people doing karate, and so Speedboat is this dance instructor or something for some reason, in charge of this entire gymnasium full of children jump roping and dancing and doing karate. And he mentioned that there's a $3,000 cash prize for some sort of dance competition, I can only assume, which never happens in the actual movie.
Yeah. I at least when I first heard that, I thought that was going to come up at the end of the movie, like maybe they were going to win.
They celebrate at the dance competition before killing everybody.
Right.
With coconut bombs.
No dance competition. That was the only reference.
It's completely forgotten about.
Yeah.
And
in fact, that's the largest group of people
in this movie
you'll see in the movie.
Yes.
Yeah,
Hands down.
That's it. You won't see that many people ever again in this movie.
Right. And so then in walks in Soldier Kelly,
The Snake Eater.
the Snake Eater, and he just randomly walks into this gymnasium and starts talking about Speedboat. He's like, I'm off the force now, but I'll be back in a few days. And then some kid just dies. Right?
Two kids
die.
die. They're just in the middle of doing a dance or whatever, and then they just fall to the ground, and everyone's like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah,
oh
they
my God.
jump rope to their death, and then Soldier Kelly and Speedboat go to consult them.
One of the girls is like, "Oh, we just needed a fix."
Yeah. And then they're like, immediately, like, she was on the drugs, and we know that these drugs have been combined with rat poison.
That's right.
There is no explanation. They just know it in their heart.
Oh, I think they talked to some other cop who, after watching the movie twice, I still don't know what his name is.
The other guy.
Yeah,
other cop.
I don't think they ever really formally announce who he is,
Yeah.
but
Nope.
he looks very similar to Soldier.
Snake-Eater. Yeah, you can confuse the two.
Yeah, they have almost the same mullet-style hair, almost, and it just gets really confusing, except that Soldier is clearly...
And neither of them do any police work whatsoever.
Yeah, they're pretty... Well, I mean, Soldier's not on the force anymore, so clearly he can just play by his own
But he's
rules.
getting back... This is the thing. He's getting back on the force in a couple days, he tells Speedboat. So he's like, you better... Like, I guess Speedboat is like his in to like the nefarious goings-on of this city?
We should
like
mention,
that.
by the way, just like the appeal on the front of the
cover?
Speedboat is, to me, the best character in the movie.
Oh, absolutely.
He's
a wisecracking
he
motherfucker.
is. Yeah, and he shows up. He's got the coolest clothes. He's got the coolest lines. He's just all around cool.
His clothes change like
Yeah,
every scene. He's
his
wearing some
jackets.
different early '90s puffy like varsity jacket with a leather fanny pack.
And the fact that this came out in 1989 means that he was ahead of the curve.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he's the dude setting the trends in that neighborhood.
Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
Yeah. So, because of the kids who have taken the drugs, Soldier says he's basically gonna get whoever's cutting the drugs with poison.
Right.
He's gonna vigilante.
Yeah.
take the law into his
Good
own
old
hands. here.
Snake-Eater justice that we're so familiar with.
And essentially, in a quick 5-minute scene, he goes to his house, takes out his
Right.
arsenal out of his closet, and then mows down a bunch of drug
It's like
dealers.
a box
Yeah.
from Vietnam or something that's just filled with grenades
And
and
C4!
guns. Oh yeah.
He has C4 in his apartment.
Right.
We only assume this is his apartment because it literally just shows him opening up a box.
Right.
It could be under a porch of his neighbor's
Who
house or
knows?
something. Who knows? But he has immediate access to C4 and grenades and a stockpile of guns. And then he goes to the drug seller's
Warehouse,
place,
whatever.
warehouse. It's supposed to be a back alley, I think, but it literally looks like cardboard sets, and with the art director's like, how do we make this look like an urban wasteland? Just fucking put some apple boxes on the floor
Right.
and spray paint squiggly lines on the walls, and there you go, urban wasteland.
Not to
ready
mention
sell
that
drugs.
this entire city is tinted in blue. Everything
all the
is
time.
blue in this movie all the time. So that's the ongoing colored theme palette of this
thematic.
movie.
So he goes and he kills a bunch of the drug dealers, and who shows up after he kills them all? Speedboat with a double barrel shotgun, going, oh, you already took care of him. Oh, I was just coming to do the same thing, man.
Right.
But-
We both have the same idea.
But
We're
you
gonna
take
just
care,
kill random people.
but you took care of it. So I'm gonna peace, and you take the fall for this.
Yeah,
So-
Speedboat's just like, you're going to go to jail for this one.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave.
So then they show Soldier in the courtroom, and he has this wacky lawyer.
Can I just backtrack for 1 second?
Go for it, go for it.
While he's killing these people in the drug warehouse or wherever the hell they are, so there's these two like bad guys. He like throws a grenade at them. They fucking explode, and then like he's like, oh, I got all the bad guys, and then like one person just jumps up from behind a box and he fucking shoots him and kills him.
Without a
It
blink
could
of
have
an
been
eye.
anybody.
Right, yeah.
With-
Not a blink of an eye
Yeah.
at all, yeah.
Blatant disrespect for a human life. He just murders
Could have been
this
a nun
person
or
that
whatever.
could have been a nun getting out of her urban church readings
Yeah.
or something, and he just blows her away.
Clearly, anyone who's in this seedy spot is a bad guy.
I guess so.
So,
if
it's
you live
shoot
in
to
an
kill.
urban neighborhood, you need to be shot and killed.
So the interesting thing is he's in court now on charges of murdering about 4 or 5 people.
Yes.
And now technically he is a cop. He's just on suspension or something. So, but I mean I don't know. He's being charged with full on cold blooded murder.
Yep.
So
murdering 4 people.
and they're all drug pushers. So instead of being like,
Except for
thanks
that ambiguous
Oh
nun.
yeah. Instead of saying, thanks for cleaning up the streets, Mr. Cop. No, he's actually literally, sent there for murder.
Well, I mean, you can't just murder 4 people without...
Soldier can.
I know.
Yeah,
he is using
He's
his
above
law.
the law,
So, and by the way, the set of this one looks even worse than than the last set.
Most of the sets look like thrown out like sitcom sets,
Right, or
from 80s shows,
or a
it's
high
just
school
like,
play.
Yeah, they don't need this courtroom set anymore. Let's see if we can
donate it to them.
donate that to the Snake Eater trilogy.
And they couldn't get any extras, and there's only like 2 people in the courtroom. The other cop and his woman partner, who says nothing the entire movie.
They've clearly exhausted their extras budget on that very first scene, because even just any scene, the most people you see is like 5, maybe 6 at a time.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's not true, actually. I'm thinking of another scene, but we'll get to that later.
All right.
So he has this really wacky, mad scientist-looking lawyer who's just a complete wackadoo.
Yep.
And somehow he convinces the judge that Snake Eater is criminally unstable. So instead of sending him to a regular jail, he's going to send him to the loony bin.
Yeah, he said they plead insanity, and he goes to the loony bin.
And now we enter
And we take
the very rest of the movie, which practically takes place in this loony bin.
Yeah. I would say a good half the movie takes place in the loony bin.
Oh, absolutely. Like it doesn't mention that at all on the back of the box or anything, and it's the entire movie.
Yeah. The crazy thing is, like, you think this is all taking a long time. This is only like the first 20 minutes of the movie.
Not even.
Yeah, we still have an hour and 10 minutes to go.
Yeah.
You're expecting this like crazy action movie, which you get, but you're all of a sudden in this loony bin, and this is where it changes gears, and the movie tries to become a screwball comedy.
Yeah. Yep. So we get introduced to this small band of loonies in this crazy house that have befriended Snake Eater.
Yep.
And so we've got one guy who's like a religious nut, and he used to be a TV evangelist, and he was arrested because some kind of like sex scandal. And then we have,
Which, by the way, we're going to go through all of these people.
Yeah.
Him, not insane. That's not something you're insane about.
Let's check that off first. Yeah, he's not criminally insane. He's
Not
just
insane.
whatever. He got caught into a scandal.
He had
Okay.
sex with people. Not insane.
Then we've got the guy who likes to set things on fire.
Torchy.
Yep, Torchy, which is his nickname, very appropriate, who is an arsonist.
Possibly
Is
insane.
that a word?
But he's very well spoken.
Yeah. Oh, very.
And he has some rapier wit that is just top notch hilarious.
He just needs to set things aflame.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Then we got
not very insane.
Yeah.
Questionable, but not,
Criminal,
yeah.
insane, maybe.
Yeah.
Then we've got Morty from
Meatballs.
who's gained a couple pounds, and all he did was sabotage the IT department at his college that he used to work at.
Yeah.
Because he spent their entire budget on
Vegas Vacation.
Vegas
Yeah,
Vacation.
he's a gambler.
Not the movie,
this
but
is his fault is that he's a gambler.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Not insane.
if you don't know who he is from Meatballs, he clearly looks like a mixture of Gene Shalit and Groucho Marx. That's just where my mind immediately goes.
With a pot belly.
Yeah, with a big pot belly.
And then there's this one guy who none of us know what his name is. He has some weird little ponytail, but
He looks
says,
like Snake from The Simpsons because he's got his cigarette pack in his sleeve.
The guy does very little in the whole movie, but he's there.
Yeah, I don't think he talks until like an hour into the movie. He's just hanging out with these people.
Yeah.
But clearly, no one here is insane.
Yeah, they don't even try to say why this guy's insane. He's the most well-spoken one. He's perfectly fine. He just likes to smoke cigarettes, maybe?
Yeah.
He's insane.
And then there's the warden, if you will, or like the nurse who kind of runs the loony bin, and he looks exactly like Carl from Aqua Teen Hunger Force, almost to a T.
He does.
Really looks exact. He's a real life example of Carl from Aqua Teen.
And he's the only guy in this entire loony bin that speaks anyway.
Right.
There's one orderly that does everything, and the other orderlies, they show up and stand.
And everyone can just roam free.
Yes.
They can just do whatever they want. So Carl, the orderly guy, just lets them do stuff. And so soldiers knew there. So I guess there's like different wards, and the quick cast of characters you meet from the other ward, also not very insane. There's like one leader guy who kind of looks like Stephen King, except like older.
He's just like mentally unstable.
Oh, he's whoever he is. He's
like
really
he's not insane. He's just
a kooky guy.
So the tradition is you take the new guy and you bring him up to the roof.
Oh wait, hold on. So they got Chinese food.
Oh yeah,
they're eating Chinese food in their like rec room, and then Soldier Kelly's like, "How did you get this Chinese food?" And they're like, "You got to play the game. You got to play the game." And he's like, "What is this game?" And they're like, "We'll show you." And then like that night is when they play the game, which is a literal game, which KevBot will tell you all about.
This is the second scene where you have the
this is where
second
it gets
half
fucking crazy.
Yeah, the second half of the extras budget, because there's a bunch of people.
Yes.
So they go up on the roof, and Soldier is brought there by Carl the orderly.
Yeah, the orderly allows this to happen.
He lets them out. They go up to the room. Or they go up to the roof, and everyone's up there, and they're all, you know, like, "Whoa, game, yeah, awesome." So the tradition is the new guy has to take part in the game where there's two people and they're strapped into wheelchairs, one leg lifted out, and they basically have to joust until they knock the other person like off this
over
platform,
the top of the building.
Yeah,
I
which
believe.
is like, yeah, exactly. It's basically over the top of the building.
So he has to kill someone else in this wheelchair joust,
and his opponent is some giant dude who kind of looks like a werewolf, like a half transformed werewolf, but he's supposed to look all bad and buff and crazy.
Mostly he just has bad teeth. In a
yeah,
pillow
they gave
on
him
his
fake buck teeth. They stuffed, you know, like a muscle suit underneath his shirt.
Very obvious too.
And they're like, "Oh man!" And
his cheeks and stuff too. I mean, like he's got some kind of spirit gum.
Yeah, he looks like he's wearing a mask.
It's like a weird werewolf mask.
It's pretty awesome.
Guy.
Yeah. Who later we learn is named Goliath.
Yeah,
he speaks in third person.
He's huge, but you would never really guess that from him sitting in the wheelchair.
No.
So they duke it out. They joust, but Goliath is not so much a jouster, but just will come over and punch you in the face.
Punch you in the face. Meanwhile, all the extras, you can clearly notice that they're wearing ponchos, and that it must have been raining out when they filmed this scene, and they must have been in such a shitty mood to film this wheelchair joust on the top of a building in the middle of the rain while some guy named Goliath in a werewolf costume is punching this guy in the face.
So he ends up winning, but Goliath almost goes over the edge, but SnakeEater helps him. So basically, if you win the game, I guess they don't really explain it, but they allow you to crawl through these oversized, perfectly clean vents to go outside and wander around all day while the orderlies never even check on you. So
right, which has nothing to do with the game. It's like literally in the same room that they hang out in all the time, and the vent is right there. And instead of just being like, "Oh, you just go through this fucking vent," they're like, "You have to fucking have this wheelchair joust."
Yeah, so if you don't win the game, I'm going to assume they just keep it a secret. They're just like, "Well, you can't fit through that."
Does that mean
crazy?
All of these, the preacher and everyone else has won this wheelchair joust, and there's some insane person that fell to their death.
Yeah, either that or like Goliath is the guy you got to beat, and he's just really easy.
I think they said he's like the new guy, and he just killed like 10 people or something.
Oh yeah, that's the thing too. Is he killed his whole family? Not insane, just murderous.
Yeah,
but he's in the insane
and
asylum.
In third person, so that's kind of insane.
Yeah, it's like clearly the prisons, because of, I'm going to imagine because of Soldier,
nobody has handcuffs.
Prisons are full, so they just start sending people to the insane asylum, and he's crazy.
Maybe all these other criminals just have SnakeEater's lawyer.
I guess he's just like, he's insane. He killed 18 people. He's insane.
He wasn't SnakeEater's choice as a lawyer, though. We forgot to mention that he was the court appointed.
This is true. He was the court appointed lawyer, but they established that they have this long friendship when a speedboat comes back to visit him dressed as Shapiro the lawyer.
Oh yeah.
And then he's like, "Tell me you didn't like steal Shapiro's wallet or whatever." And he's just like, "Yeah, I stole Shapiro's wallet." But then he's like offended that he did this. And let's backtrack a little bit before he goes into the vent, which is the best part of the movie.
Hands down my favorite part of the movie. That's when things get
really crazy.
Really 80s screwball comedy.
So we have to mention the love interest in air quotes because... So his psychiatrist in this mental hospital is the second person that works here. And so she looks scary. What else can you say? She looks scary. She's not very nice.
You know who she looks like? Who's the lady that plays the mom in Look Who's Talking? She was on Dancing with the Stars and stuff.
Kirstie Alley.
All right, yeah. She looked kind of like a blonde. Yet she, Kirstie Alley, but she's got like these weird, like evil eyes. I don't know how else to explain it, but she just looks evil.
And she's supposed to help Soldier Kelly. She's like, "So why are you insane?" And he's like, "I'm not insane. I just fucking killed 4 people. I'm fine." And then she's like, "No, you must be insane." And then some guy just breaks into the office with a knife and tries to like hold it to her throat and stab her. And meanwhile, there's 2 orderly extras who are just literally standing there doing nothing, watching
just
this
like,
all go on.
Man, well, he's got the knife, so not much we can do.
Yeah, we can just stand here and write a report later. But Soldier Kelly saves her. She saves her life, and she's like, "I could have done that. Fuck you, Soldier Kelly. Right. I can stand up for myself and not get stabbed in the throat by this 6-foot-tall man." And that's basically the relationship. She's a bitch to him, and they're in love or something. I don't know.
It seems like she was the potential love interest, but they actually
just cut all that out.
Yeah, they clearly just took all that out.
There's no coconut bombs in this scene. Just cut out the love.
Yeah.
So back to the whole vent thing. So he's able to leave
part of the movie.
To conduct more of his busting of drugs.
Yeah, I think this is what after Speedboat talks to... So Speedboat comes in and visits him dressed as Shapiro the lawyer, and they're like, there's some more drugs going on or something.
Like
some other kid died or whatever.
So Soldier is going through the vents, the oversized, very clean vents, and then all of a sudden you see who's coming through the other way. Is a
prostitute.
A prostitute coming for the preacher guy.
He bumps into a prostitute in an air vent.
And then it gets better.
What is going on in this movie?
And then it gets better.
How does it get better?
Oh, because here comes a pizza guy.
Pizza Hut. He's just like, "Hey, delivery pizza. Hey, you get 2 of these, you get a free antipasto." Like, what is this pizza man doing in the vents?
He's killed 4. There's a whole family of 8 that have been murdered by Goliath, and then he kills 4 people. There are 2 dead children, possibly 3 dead children that we know of, and then it just takes this wild turn where like, "Hey, let's make some pizza guy jokes. Hey, he's in the middle of the air vent."
Clearly, some writers were just like, "I think we need to pick this movie up a little bit. Let's throw a couple." Throw a pizza guy in there. Let's throw the...
This is the kind of stuff that you see in like an 80s screwball comedy, like Screwballs or Loose Screws or Oddballs or
any movie that ends with balls will have a pizza guy walking through an air vent. Not a movie named SnakeEater the Drug Buster.
Yeah, it's some kooky crazy stuff.
So he's wild.
So he gets out and... He goes after basically a new drug dealer kind of guy.
This is the part of the movie
what happens
where you realize
is
that
this the plumbing thing?
No. There's like a pimp in his Cadillac, and he's like, "Yo, lady, I got my pimp Cadillac."
Right.
And then he takes like some kind of there's like a big string with a pipe attached to it, and it comes down and like basically goes right through the guy's chest, like through the windshield.
Soldier is the MacGyver, the murderous MacGyver.
Right, that's what this whole movie's about. It's him improvising death machines to kill people that may or may not sell drugs.
He's like this, ex-cop justice guy, but like he basically escapes every night or every day. He escapes his loony bin to go on a murderous rampage in killing drug lords.
Which is really weird because that means every day there's a new guy who's like, "Well, I'm the drug lord now."
Right.
So there's a new drug lord showing up every day, and Soldier has to go out and kill him.
And by the way,
in the coolest ways.
So this, like, he kills this drug lord with like a Rube Goldberg machine.
Right.
So he opens the door to his Cadillac, and then this telephone pole booth is triggered. The telephone pole is triggered to like swing down from like the top of a building or something, like a fire escape, and then impale him in the chest. But he's one man sets up this entire death trap within the span of 5 minutes.
Right. And then in the morning when the cops show up, they're just like, wow, that's crazy. This guy's dead.
And by the way, that night, after he kills this guy, Speedboat's there, and he's just like, oh, I was going to kill this guy too. They just always have they're just so on par.
They're clearly mates for life because they're just on the same brainwave.
Yeah, exactly.
And then next up comes big drug lord assassination attempt number 2 with some fire extinguishers. This is actually a really cool.
This one is
cool
ridiculous.
Scene.
This one took me by surprise.
So somehow too. So you know how all these loony bin people can go in and out as they please through the vents. So you come to find out that not only that, but also some people in the loony bin, if you say, hey, go get me some X-Lax and some paprika and some electrical tape and this and that, and they're like, yeah, sure, I can get it for you. So
that's later though.
They
do have access to a whole abundance of
but this is the point where he was all like, "Hey, I need you to get me some. Some fire extinguisher." Oh, did he ask him a fire extinguisher?
So Speedboat visits him again. He's like, "Remember killing that guy?" He's like, "Yeah, let's do it again." Yeah. And then he's like, "All right, there's another drug guy out there somewhere or something." They never explain why they're killing these people. I think they're just innocent people that work in a warehouse. And he's like, "Speedboat, go get me some fire extinguishers and a plumbing truck." And that's it.
And the plumbing truck's pretty sweet.
Oh, yeah.
There's like this animated guy plunging a toilet on top of the truck.
He's basically jerking off a plunger that's in a toilet. And on the back, it's got a saying that says, like, you dump, we pump.
Gross.
Speedboat and SnakeEater are wearing these, like, live-action Super Mario Brother movie type costumes that are like bright orange
jumpsuits. And in the back of that van, there's just some PA who is working this like jerk off plumber machine, just going, fucking, this is what movies are like? What the fuck did I sign up for? I went to film school for this?
It's another paycheck, I guess. Beats porno.
So they get to this warehouse, which I guess alludes to they're making drugs in there, I guess, because there's like some section that they can't go into.
The second time I watched the movie, that's what I thought. But the first time, I had no idea why
I didn't know it was
warehouse.
in there. Yeah. So anywho, they like replace all the fire extinguishers with what they say are like, new ones, like they're replacing them. And then they light the place up on fire. And the fire extinguishers like make the fire worse, so they're like
filled with gasoline,
with kerosene or something. But before they replace it, they go in and they talk to like the supervisor of the building, and Speedboat goes off on this dude because the guy's like, "Oh, what are you guys doing?" He's like, Soldier says, we got to replace all the fire extinguishers, and he's like, "Oh, okay, well here," and they're like, "Well, we got to go in this area have closed off." He's like, listen, no one can go in there. And then Speedboat just goes nuts, talking about how it's his day off and he could be at home banging his old lady, but no, he's got to be there, blah blah blah. It should be his day off, blah blah blah. And he goes off, and then Soldier's just like, that's his first day.
Yeah.
He's like, why would he be there on his first day if it's his day off?
Right.
I mean, fuck this dude. He has a terrible work ethic if he wants his first day off banging his old lady.
So they replace all the fire extinguishers. They got like kerosene or whatever in it, and they set it on fire. All the scientist-looking people who are cutting the drugs, which I don't know why they look like scientists, but that's whatever.
They got their degree from WPI in drug college.
I haven't questioned much about this movie yet. I'm not going to question that.
Yeah.
So they set that up, and you see the crime boss, and he's flipping the shit out. And by the way, he swears a lot.
Yeah.
And he's also always gets Speedboat's sister, who is a hooker.
And possibly a transvestite?
Possibly.
Oh, yeah, they talked about that somewhere,
They mention her being a transvestite and then never bring it up again.
Right. Yeah.
That makes no sense at all.
Speaking of the drug lord, he lives in like this
One room.
like one room.
He's
It's a
only
cool.
in one room.
So like the room is painted blue, just like how the rest of the city that they live in is all blue, and there's like weird shaved rocks on the wall as decoration.
Yep.
And then like one other portion of the same room is dressed up like some kind of like Egyptian temple.
Yeah,
and there's like a
it's-
fold out bed that comes out of the wall.
It's like if you go to a museum and they're like, "Hey, we've got a nice exhibit on pharaohs and stuff,"
Right.
and you go in the room and it's all dolled up to look like that with murals and stuff. But then a trundle bed comes down and the speedboat's hooker sister brother comes in and
Then he slaps
he
her.
slaps her just because
Because the
he's a
only
bad
woman
guy
with
and
lines in this movie,
she's a
so she needs
hooker.
to be slapped.
So
Then we're on to drug lord
Can
assassination
we just say,
number 3.
like, back to the fire extinguisher thing? I don't know if we mentioned this. So they leave a trail of gasoline leading out from the building, and they set it on fire. It blows up the building, and then when they go to use it, they're like, "Oh man, thank God for these new fire extinguishers." And, like, one person catches on fire, and then he blows the fire extinguisher on that person to set him off, but it's gasoline inside the fire extinguisher, and it just sets this person ablaze.
Yeah.
That scene got cut way too short because I wanted to see more people
Yeah.
get fucked up with fire extinguishers that breathe fire.
you couldn't because there were only 4 people in that building.
That is
There were
true.
the 3 scientists. One was a woman who ran out screaming just like that. So she's gone.
because she's a woman in this movie.
Well, you can't kill the women in the action movies. And then one was the supervisor guy, and then the one was the guy on fire, and the other one was the guy spraying essentially this flamethrower extinguisher.
Yep.
And it's just
It was
brutal.
amazing.
And clearly Soldier emptied these fire extinguishers and filled them up and pressurized them. I'm going to guess all in the loony bin.
Right. How the fuck did he do that? Oh my god, I didn't even
He's
think about
Soldier.
that. I guess so.
He's
he just went to
murderous
iParty. He's like,
MacGyver.
"Hey, let me borrow your air balloon machine, fill it up with gasoline. Here we go. I'm going to go kill some 4 innocent people
So,
again."
regardless, this guy is using some really cool, creative ways to
Yes, which is the best part of this
bust
movie.
these drug lords,
He's busting drugs all over the city.
So now we're on to like attempt number 3 here, and one of my favorite kills comes up, where he basically makes these weird little like coconut bombs.
Yep.
Like in his little cell room, and so he takes like some paprika and X-Lax and things like that, and like takes like
how you make bombs.
Yeah, exactly.
How
Just
you make
regular
grenades.
bomb making
two
ingredients.
coconut shells, and he wraps them together with tape,
Oh,
and he's got
yeah.
a little bomb. So he and
Speedboat.
he and Speedboat go to like this restaurant, and
They
dressed
say
up
they're-
like health inspectors.
Yeah, they're health inspectors.
Yep.
And they got to inspect the whole place.
Yeah, well, the restaurant is closed, so there's like a drug lord meeting going on with only one person, though. There's no one. No, there's 2 people that are meeting to sell these drugs. So the restaurant owner is like closing up shop in the middle of the day, so this drug meeting can go on.
It's probably in between the lunch and evening rush.
Yeah,
I'm just going to go ahead and guess.
That makes sense.
because there was only
One
one person
guy.
one person in the kitchen. And there was only the owner, manager, whoever, who let the bad guys in.
Yeah, there's one customer that the owner, who is like the biggest Italian stereotype with a French accent,
Right.
he kicks this one customer out. He's like, the guy's just like drinking coffee. He's like, get out, and he like lets him keep the cup of coffee, like his mugs and whatever.
I mean, maybe the restaurant is just a front. I mean, it totally is, but
absolutely.
they still from time to time get people who
One
don't know it's a
customer,
front.
yeah.
So they'll be like, well, all right, we'll whip something up. And then it's like, oh, crap, here comes someone. No, get out. And that's
Yeah,
why they
okay.
don't care. They don't care about losing that cup. Why would they?
I'm hesitant to say it, but that kind of makes sense. And then, so like, there's the actual drug guys come in, but not be. Did the drug guys come in first, or does
No,
SnakeEater come in?
SnakeEater comes in because they come in dressed up as these like 18th century London police officers that
Right.
are really weird. But they say that they're like health inspectors, so they go in the back. Snake Eater puts
set up some booby traps.
Yeah, Snake Eater takes his coconut bomb and he replaces the float in the bathroom toilet with this coconut bomb. And while Speedboat throws this huge amount of X-Lax
in the marinara sauce.
which looks like salt. Like
Yeah.
I've never seen
it's
powder
powdered
form
X-Lax.
of X-Lax, but
it's all
I've
bubbly.
never really taken X-Lax before.
Yeah, I don't need it. I eat Taco Bell.
So
not after Speedboat insults the taste of
he's
this
like,
marinara
"This smells
sauce.
like shit."
yeah.
The guy's like, well, that's for our linguine. I'm
It's
also
the only
French
thing
little."
cooking in the kitchen.
It's the only
It's the only thing in the kitchen that's cooking.
So while Soldier is planting the toilet bomb, Speedboat dumps that stuff in, and then he just starts hitting on the girl who's cleaning the dishes.
Yep.
And then they set everything up, and then they're out of there. And for some reason,
They hang out in the back.
they
waiting.
hang out like in the back alley behind, just to be like, all right, let's see if this works.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed, guys.
Right. So the drug actual meeting people or whatever they go to the restaurant, and there's like one guy who looks like he's 12 years old in his father's suit, and then some other like someone from the Fabrizi family or whatever. He's just eating this linguine, and then the other guy's like, "Hey, do you want some drugs?" And he's like, "Sure." And then the other guy's like, "Okay, I'm gonna leave." And then he just leaves. And then so he eats the marinara sauce with the X-Lax concoction
I
mixed
don't feel
in.
so good.
Yeah, and immediately he's like, "Oh," blah, 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 blah," and then he
had,
like
one
runs
bite.
off like a penguin to the
Right.
bathroom. Which, by the way, again, he takes a shit and then he flushes. I mean, this is a really quick shit. I mean,
Yeah, for a guy with X-Lax.
He's clearly just he's doing a courtesy flush.
Okay.
Oh, that could be.
All right.
Yeah,
I mean, of
because-
course, if you're a murderous gangster, you've got to have a courtesy flush,
Oh, of
or else
course.
you're not worth your weight in shit.
I guess.
So he flushes the toilet courteously, and then fucking explodes while Snake Eater and Speedboat are in the back and watching like windows blow out.
Yeah,
of
they're
the building.
standing. They're standing
From
like
the
right
loading dock?
next to a window that explodes, and it's like, oh well. Clearly, we knew that was going to happen. But if I set up a booby trap like that, I would not be anywhere near where I thought it was going to explode.
No.
Because I'm expecting an
Shards-
explosion.
Shards of glass would have gone through their faces.
While Speedboat goes, boy, he really had to go.
Yeah, and then, but like again, anyone could have taken a shit.
That could
And
have
then
been
fucking
that
exploded. Like that lady could have tasted the marinara
Right,
sauce.
right.
Maybe the woman's room is under construction because it's a shitty place, and she takes a shit and she just fucking dies and explodes. They are reckless with who they're killing.
Right.
How did he know that they were, or how did they know he was going to go into that one stall? What if he went into the other one?
I think
Oh,
there
yeah.
was only one stall. There was a shitty urinal and then one shitter.
Maybe he brought more than one coconut bombs underneath his coat, and just in case.
Yeah,
that's
anyone
possible.
else who has to take a shit is going to explode also.
In case attempt number one doesn't go off and one stall explodes,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
at least another bomb
There you
to go off.
Yeah.
Then what happens after that?
After that is the DA meeting, or
Oh, yeah.
there's basically the DA testimony.
Oh, right. Yeah, so he has to come up with a reason to explain why he killed the 4 original people. Nobody knows that he killed countless numbers of innocents along the way of his stay here.
And everyone is trying to be like, all right, we got to come up with this great story, including the psychiatrist lady who's like, listen, we just got to get the charges off you. Like, let's just start working on that.
Is this place run by Acorn? Because, like, the psychiatrist...
Acorn?
But what is Acorn?
You don't know what Acorn is? Well, look at it. Wikipedia it, and then I don't have time to explain it now.
Acorn.
Oh, okay.
Like,
And-
people who are nuts, like an acorn?
No. But
It's an insane asylum.
and so the psychiatrist, woman love interest thing, whatever she is, instead of doing her job as a psychiatrist, she's like, how can I get this man who killed 4 people from going to jail? Tell the DA that the devil made you kill those 4 people.
Yeah. That was her suggestion.
She should be fired immediately.
She belongs in the loony bin.
Yeah, she needs to lose her license. That was absurd. So then SnakeEater goes on. He has this meeting with the DA, and he goes on this monologue about how the devil made him kill these people, which doesn't make any sense at all. And he's like, okay, sure, you're crazy. And then the woman's like, yeah, you're crazy now. We're fine. Everything is A-okay.
The greatest part is that it worked.
It worked. And then, is this where Speedboat gets kidnapped?
Speedboat gets kidnapped, right? Yeah, he's got another one of his puffy jackets on. He's walking down the street, and one of the main big drug lord who lives in that blue and Egyptian room,
Who looks like Jack Black.
Yeah. You got this goon who looks like Jack Black. He comes up to him and puts him in his car. It's like old Chrysler Baron, and then brings him to his mansion. And then it's up to the SnakeEater to go and save Speedboat and destroy the drug lord's whole operation in one shebang.
Yeah. So he gets acquitted of his SnakeEater soldier gets acquitted of his charges because he's possessed by the devil.
Yep,
And
as we all would be.
catches wind that there's a big drug meeting. That is
because
literally what it's called.
Yes,
the big
because
drug meeting.
Speedboat's sister, who is the transvestite prostitute, meets him in jail, and she's like, I am now the lawyer for this guy. And she meets him in his...
I am also Shapiro.
Yeah, I am the transvestite Shapiro. So she meets him in his room, and she's like, I have these documents for you to sign. And then he's like, are you Speedboat's sister? And she's like, yeah, okay. So anyway, now that we got that out of the way, there's this drug meeting going on tonight, and Speedboat's probably kidnapped there, maybe. So he goes.
Yeah.
So he goes and he
makes some more
makes some
coconut.
more
Oh wait, no,
coconut
hold on.
bombs.
He goes through the vents.
Oh, yeah.
And he gets caught by the psychiatrist because apparently this one time, as a plot device, it's not okay to leave.
Right.
So he gets thrown
It's just this once.
Just this one time. Yeah, it's okay to leave as long as you're not killing or breaking up the big drug meeting.
Right.
So they throw him in solitary or, a big padded room.
Yep.
And who saves him? Who gets him out?
Who could it be?
Werewolf Goliath.
Werewolf Goliath.
With his teeth coming out and all.
By strangling some guard into opening up the door. And apparently Goliath's thing, besides murdering his family and wheelchair fighting up on the roof, he just likes to strangle guys. Got him in a sleeper hold.
Yeah, so he releases SnakeEater from solitary by strangling this orderly, and then he's all of a sudden at the front door of the insane asylum strangling some dude that's dressed up from like Bison from Street Fighter. And then SnakeEater's like, thanks for killing these innocent people for me to get out of here, and you should come with me. And then Goliath is like, Goliath not allowed to leave. But Goliath is allowed to kill innocent orderlies?
I don't think he killed them. Like I said,
I don't know. He killed his family.
I think it was
Why wouldn't he kill these orderlies if he already murdered 8 people?
I don't know why he wouldn't want to leave. I mean,
yeah,
I don't know.
Why can
Because
he
he
abide
can't,
to?
I
Yeah,
guess.
he's not allowed to. It's not that he can't. He's not allowed to. So he says,
he's not allowed to
Goliath,
choke out orderlies
you can
either.
do whatever.
right.
You can do whatever you want. Maybe this was just one night where like they said, listen guys, no one can go out. We're just gonna all hang in tonight.
It's movie night.
Yeah, it's movie night. We got some pizza. We got those guys coming through the
pizza guy
ducts.
came through the vent.
That's right.
We got the
pizza and hookahs.
antipasto or whatever he brought for free. And no one can go out tonight. Anyone who's caught has to sleep in the padded room tonight.
Maybe there's another wheelchair fight up on the roof. That
Oh, he's
night or
like,
something.
I gotta fight in this wheelchair
Yeah.
battle, but you go on ahead without me.
Maybe orderly Carl just wasn't working that night, so it's like
Well, he wasn't in these scenes unless he already got
wasn't.
choked out and died.
Oh yeah.
So basically, Soldier goes to the the big drug meeting.
By the way,
he
how
goes to
the
the house.
fuck did he get there?
He
Just walked.
Yeah.
He walked. He doesn't have a car. He just walks to this guy's mansion,
It could have been
which
down
I'm
the street.
assuming is not near the insane asylum at all.
Hey, we don't know that.
Everything is relatively close by. This is
Yeah.
a very small city.
It's a tiny city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything's like a couple blocks away. It's like The Simpsons, where it seems like everything is walking distance. So he gets there and he basically uses.
He throws some more coconut bombs.
Yeah, he
goes right inside, does he not?
He mixes Home Alone hijinks
Yeah.
to get inside.
Right.
Like, oh, there's a camera. I'll just shoot a sprinkler at it so they can't see me.
Which would just get the camera wet.
Yeah,
and
you'd
nobody's
still-
fucking watching the cameras anyway.
Yeah,
yeah.
What's the point of having these cameras if they're ineffective anytime it rains?
Yeah, and there's only 2 goons manning this the drug meeting, and he goes into he cuts off the phone lines, but the way he does this is he goes into the greenhouse,
Yeah.
and then cuts the phone lines with his magic lock?
With his magic lock melt that can melt metal and break through locks, but it's kept in like a little eye drop.
This stuff is
plastic.
basically, it's like sulfuric acid. I mean, it's got like smoke coming out
It
of it.
doesn't melt plastic, but metal eats that stuff
only
like
melts
nothing.
locks.
Melts that thing like nothing. Meanwhile, while he's trying to get in, his buddy and the female cop who hasn't done anything since, only said one thing. They're watching the house.
They're watching everything happen.
Yeah, watching everything.
There's like
happen.
gunfire and everything.
Not
And they're like,
doing anything.
we think that there might be a criminal in here, so we're just going to look through our binoculars. But it's like they don't even hear all the shooting and explosions from coconut bombs and everything like that. So,
Right.
So Soldier is going through the house, and he kills the 5 goons that are inside. For a huge drug meeting, there is a severe lack of security.
Right. He said there's like four like drug kingpins and the one like mega drug kingpin.
Right.
Yeah.
They're all in the blue room.
And they're like, you promised me my safety. He's like, okay, you're fine. And while all these explosions are going on, and none of these people brought their own guards or anything, there's only 2 goons manning this entire house, which die.
Anytime you see a big drug meeting, like in any other movie, the guys have at least 2 guys standing behind them. Like, think of like Batman, like the Michael Keaton Batman, where all the drug, all the gangster guys are there, and they all have like 5 guys behind them, just in case any shit goes down, you know? Then they're safe. They got their 5 best guys, plus other guys, I assume, waiting out in a van.
This could be another lack of extras problem.
Again, they blew the budget like early on the dance sequence in the beginning and the game.
Yep. So no more extras to die. And meanwhile, Speedboat is getting beat up by one goon, my favorite goon, who wears these crazy like early 90s like hanging with Mr. Cooper shirts.
Yeah.
And so he's just getting beat up because he won't talk about what, I don't know what they want him to confess.
They probably want
something.
the name of they probably want Soldier.
Yeah, but
the name, because he got caught because they were like, hey, he kind of looks like the guy who blew up the place,
the toilet.
Yeah. Even though no one else was in there, which is which is very stereotypical.
Nobody saw him and everyone's dead. And there's no witnesses, but he looks like that guy.
With the drug lord, everything's about the Febreze. He's like,
Febreze family.
The Febreze family. My carpet stinks. Shoot it with some Febreze family.
So Soldier goes in after killing the six guys in his way, and he goes to save Speedboat. And in the slowest fight I've ever seen, where it's like they take dramatic pauses before they punch each other, or like someone's clearly standing there just like shouting like left hook, pow.
Yeah, it's
left
like
hook.
I'm gonna hit you now. Is that okay? Okay, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, it's incredibly slow, and it's just like it's so
there's
painful to watch.
And before the fight happens, the hanging with Mr. Cooper guy shoots him twice. He shoots him in the arm and in like the kneecap.
He shoots Soldier, not Speedboat. We got to clarify that.
Right, yeah. So he shoots Soldier, and then Soldier's like, "Oh, I just got shot twice. Time to fucking fight." And then he feels no pain.
Yeah, he's
and
fine.
just beats the shit out of this guy, kind of really slowly. and there's a fish tank in the corner, and somehow it breaks.
No, he pushes it over.
Oh, he
Snake
pushes
Eater
it over.
pushes it over, yeah.
Okay, and then there's a big lamp.
And then, he pushes it over, and then they kind of look at each other like, what just happened? And then he picks up the lamp, and the big guy's like, oh, I think he's going to do what
we all know is going to happen.
Oh God!
Improvised murder.
They go back on what's it called?
The close up.
The close-ups, yeah,
like dun 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 dun.
Yeah, like back and forth, and clearly enough time for this big guy to move.
Yeah.
So he picks up the lamp and he slams it down on the floor with the wet carpet and electrocutes him somehow. He must have had like metal shoes on or something.
Right, he's either wearing the tap dancing shoes with metal studs, or like you said,
golf cleats.
Golf cleats.
Yeah, because he gets electrocuted
by standing on a wet carpet
by
in a broken lamp.
On wet carpet, yeah.
And then he releases Speedboat from his duct tape shackles, and then Speedboat's going to get up. He's like, whoa. Don't step over there on that part of the carpet. You'll get fried.
Yeah. Speedboat should have just been like, yeah, I just watched you electrocute that guy.
He's got short-term memory loss.
Just getting beat up so much.
And they've got one more coconut grenade left. And what do they do with it? He hands it off to Speedboat after... Wait, no, we didn't even talk about the lockdown on the drug house, right?
Okay, right, yeah.
So everyone, all the main drug dealer guys or whatever are in the blue room, in the blue Egyptian King Tut room. And so the main drug guy is like, instead of like trying to actually do something about this, he's like, don't worry, I'm just going to flip this switch. And then all the windows and the doors turn into metal gates that lock up and enclose them in the safety of this room, instead of like calling more like henchmen to kill whoever is killing everybody else.
They couldn't call more henchmen because Snake Eater cut the phone lines, remember?
Oh, yeah, that's true. I guess
he's only got like 5 or 6 other guys.
Cut one phone, but none of the phones in this movie are plugged in to the wall anyway, so it doesn't matter. And so then they try to go through one of the big metal doors, but they can't. So Snake Eater puts an Uzi just like perfectly placed to lock up the door
that
more?
Apparently jams the door somehow.
Oh, so they can't get out. Yeah, so he locks them in this room that's already locked up with an Uzi like door stopper or something. And then so then they're in the hallway and they're like, oh, there's some guy in this like random room that we're next to. Let's fucking blow him up. He could be a prisoner just like yours.
No, he shot at them, remember?
Yeah. Oh, okay, so the door gets shot at. Oh, okay,
so
that makes sense.
They throw a grenade in this room with this guy, and all he does is like, it's like a cartoon because, you know, he's all covered in soot or whatever, and he's on fire, and instead of shooting him, because Soldier points a gun at him, Speedboat just goes, get out of here or whatever, and kicks him down the stairs and does the worst tumble down the stairs that you've ever seen. Like halfway down, he's like, oh, there's more stairs. I got to keep rolling. Like, oh, here's a wall.
Well, you know, like this guy probably wasn't, he's on fire, but he probably wasn't like a stunt guy, or it was like his first day. It was probably like one of the other extras. He was just like, you want to be in the movies? Then we're going to set you on fire and kick you down the stairs.
He's just an intern.
Yep.
So once that guy, who's still on fire and not dead, runs out of the house, the other cops who've been watching the whole thing go, oh, there's a guy on... We should probably go and investigate this, like, close up now.
And then, so they go into this room where they just blew up, and there's, like, tubs of rat poison. And they're like, oh, my God, this is the rat poison that killed those teenagers. And... by the way, these people have killed... the good guys have killed more people than the bad guys have killed, like, in dramatic droves of body count. So then they take they take their shirts off to show their abs and wrap them around their mouths so they don't breathe in the drug poison. And there's a vent in the room. They love vents in this movie. So it's a major thematic device that they're using. So they pour all of the rat poison, which is more powder, it could be X-Lax, who knows. They pour it through the vent, and it gets circulated into nowhere else in the house. It just gets circulated only into the drug lair where the meeting is going on. And then the guy in the main drug guy is like, the dust is coming in. He's like, what is this? And then like he tastes it to find out that it's rat poison, which means that he has tasted rat poison before.
Yeah, and he's like, oh no. But clearly it had no effect on him before. And it does not kill you right away.
Right.
And this is some very weak rat poison. Like, this is like rat sickener. It just makes it would just
They'd
make
only
rats
kill
sick.
teenagers.
Yeah.
And like
But
while
only
they're
one cut with drugs.
Yes.
like while they're pouring all these drugs down the vent, like it's going all over the place. Like Snake Eater was shot twice. He's got these big open wounds, and like rat poison's getting in there and stuff.
But
and
he's not breathing it in because he has a
Oh,
T-shirt
of
over
course,
his mouth,
of
so it
course.
saves him.
as long as he doesn't breathe it in, he's okay.
It can get into his bloodstream, directly, but if he doesn't breathe it in, then he is okay.
Yeah.
So then basically these people start choking to death and they die of this rat poison inhalation. And the actual cop comes in and meets Snake Eater. They're like, they are in themselves covered in this rat poison stuff, but not around their mouths. And then they take off their T-shirts and throw them on the floor while the rat poison is flying around in the same room.
Right.
But still, it doesn't affect them for whatever reason. And then they leave the room and run into the good cops, that like his former partner or whoever. And then he's like, sees the metal door, and then Snake Eater's like, you don't want to go in there. And then he's like, fuck you, I want to go in there. And he opens it up, and then rat poison death man like is frozen solid and just falls out the door like, ah! And then
Closes the door.
He closes the door. And then he's like, you're right, I didn't want to go in there. You're not going to get reprimanded for this at all.
Well, he initially said, you guys are going to jail.
Right.
You're under arrest.
But they don't.
No,
Yeah.
they don't. So
They go to the insane asylum.
yeah, they're basically sentenced for life in the insane asylum.
Yeah.
And basically everyone's real happy about it.
Yeah.
They're like, sweet party.
Speedboat has like one of those like a lot of times back in the late 80s, early 90s, like in like African American fashion, they'd have like a beret on. He took like a medical surgical hat and turned it into a blue beret that he's wearing while a nurse is feeding him food.
Oh,
Yeah, she's
always
feeding him
looking
mush,
stylish.
Yeah.
And he's hitting on this nurse that we've never seen before. She's the only nurse in this place that I can imagine.
And he's like, "Where is that Snake Eater? I missed that knucklehead." But he's just like in the room next
he's
door
like
with the
literally
nurse.
in the next room. And
Snake Eater's in the room with the psychiatrist, and
Right.
they're basically talking about like, hey, you're gonna be in here forever, while the
His like gang of loonies.
his gang of loonies, the
Torchy and
Torchy and the priest guy and the gambler
Morty
and
and all
the
that.
guy we don't know.
Right.
They all poke their head through the
like
door,
the Three
listening
Stooges
in.
all in a row.
Yeah,
Yeah,
all
like
in a row,
stacked up.
and
Yeah.
they all do the thing where they're like, "Oh, we got to be quiet." So the first guy in the bottom goes shh, and then next guy's like, "Okay, I got it," and they go up and they each go shh to the guy above them, and then they're like, "Hey, it's gonna be here," and then some sweet gospel choir music starts going, and then the four guys just start dancing in the hallway, and then you fade to the credits.
That's it.
That's the end of the- that's
the end of the
Snake Eater
movie.
II,
Just these
Drug
crazy
Busters.
people dancing in a hallway.
So like I said, this movie has got action, like 80s screwball stuff. It's a super low budget flick, but it's a ton of fun.
It was amazing.
It was a blast. to
I
say
might have
the least.
sounded like I hated it, but I loved every
Yeah,
minute.
this movie was really fun to watch.
It was crazy. So, what would your if you were going to rate this on IMDb, which I already did, what would you rate it?
I'd give it a 7 out of 10.
Nice.
Yeah. How about you, Dane Train?
I give it like a 9.5.
Yeah.
I really like this movie.
Nice,
it was
nice.
super cheese.
Yeah, I
Super
gave it a
cheese.
9. I gave it a 9.
Yeah.
See, I think I would have rated it higher if it had more Speedboat in it, because he was my favorite part. Just any time with Speedboat.
Yeah, he was great. So, for those of you folks who have after listening to this said, "Oh my, holy crap-a-moly, I've got to watch this,"
Which you should.
which yeah, you definitely really should watch this. We highly recommend. I mean, anytime that we get together and watch these movies, you watch them with your friends at night, like on a Friday night or Saturday night, and you go get yourself some junk food. Like we're always getting Taco Bell or some Burger King or something like that. So on top of that, chicken units.
We got to eat some food that's the quality of the movies we're about to watch.
That's right. Yeah, how much you paid for your number 2 at Burger King is the price of the budget of the movie. So if you guys want to watch this at home, you can go on eBay. It is available on tape for a couple bucks. You can get it on DVD as well. I don't know if it's a bootleg or not, but there's DVD up on there. And also for those of you cheapos out there like myself, go and check it out on the YouTubes because it is on there in its entirety. So please check out SnakeEater II, the Drug Buster. And if you enjoyed it so much like we're going to hopefully try to find, is SnakeEater 1 and SnakeEater 3 his law or his way, whatever it's called.
All 3 of the SnakeEater movies are on YouTube.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we got to check those out. And as well, we couldn't find the lead guy, the SnakeEater guy, Soldier Kelly.
Lamas.
Yeah, he's this guy named Lorenzo Lamas who none of us have ever heard of before this. And
I've heard of the name, but I honestly have never... I would not recognize him in anything. He kind of looks like John Stamos as Uncle Jesse.
Yeah.
Like if you watch the first episode, like that same kind of mullety hair,
right,
but he's a little more pasty.
He's been in a shitload of what seem to be awesome movies.
Yeah, like he's in a bazillion of these 90s straight-to-video action movies. What would you remember?
There's one that's called Gladiator Cop.
Gladiator Cop, right? Yeah.
The trailer looks meh, but the name is amazing, so we'll probably watch it.
They're called Terminal Impact or like kooky names like that.
Death Justice, Bikers from Hell, or something.
Yeah. So this guy has a slew of movies that we're gonna have to watch as time goes on. So, but for those of you guys at home, SnakeEater II. Drug Buster was awesome. We loved it.
We definitely recommend it.
Definitely, this one was a hidden gem. So please check it out. So, folks, thank you for listening to us. We are the VHS Bandits.
I'm the KevBot.
Dane Train.
Topher Hansen.
And thanks for listening in. We don't have any social media yet since this is only our first episode.
But we'll have
our
personal ones.
You could do that, but hopefully we'll have, Facebook page, Twitter page, something like that set up soon, and we're going
to get this whole shebang going.
Yeah.
Do you have any people, your Twitter or whatever?
I do have a Twitter. It is Kevin Oneeder. Ohneeder. Exactly how it sounds. Not the Wonders, but Oneeder. Kevin Oneeder.
Get the reference there?
At Twitter or whatever.
And then my Twitter is just at Topher Hansen, Topher Hansson. And all my other shit, just search my name, whatever.
I don't have a Twitter or Instagram. I don't have any of that baloney.
Hey, that's all right.
Yeah, nah, not for me.
We'll chastise you later.
We'll figure it out at a later date.
So thanks again for listening to our inaugural episode. Right, that's the right word.
There we
inaugural
go.
Episode.
Hey, if you guys ever want to mail us some tapes or something like that too, shoot us a message and we'll watch your movies. That'd be sweet.
Send one of us a direct message, and we'll have an email and whatever set up.
Yeah,
that'd be pretty
absolutely.
sweet.
So thanks again, and I'm going to hit the eject button now.
Alrighty, let's rewind the tape.
Be kind, rewind.